Hello, I'm Reese Nipke, and this week, News 6 is featuring Kalida Elementary School from Kalida, Ohio. The word Kalida is an Indian word meaning beautiful. The school is also known as St. Michael's, and the St. Michael's Catholic Church is close by. The church has a pipe organ, which is one of the only two still in existence. It is noted for its sound and is now worth over $60,000. And now, to tell you how Kalida keeps track of its history, here's Kevin.
Putnam County Historical Society Museum is in Kalida. It is located in the corner of Main and 4th Street. Its purpose is to show the life of Putnam County before the 1900s. It contains many articles such as carpenter, old deeds, and pay bills, and is cooking utensils such as sauerkraut makers, sausage stuffer, and apple butter kettle. There is also pieces of 100-year-old, and there is a portable judge's chair which is used in Kalida's courthouse. There is also a medical tool called an electrical chair and is put in a shock into patients suffering rheumatism. And the museum is really a place to visit in Kalida. Speaking of old tools, the collection of Indian articles of Mr. Lloyd Harnsvager is also something to see. Mr. Harnsvager, the middle school supervisor of Putnam County, brought some of his collections to school, where Jenny Blankford and Teresa Horseman had a chance to interview him.
Where did you find some of your Indian artifacts?
Found about all of my Indian artifacts along the Blanchard River in Putnam County.
Which ones were the hardest to find?
Well, the hardest ones to find are the little bird points. Some of them are as small as your little fingernail, and you have to look very carefully to see them. And some of them are just about the color of the earth, and so after a rain, when they're shiny, is the best time. They're the most difficult.
Which ones do you like the best?
The ones I like the best are the Flint Ridge flint arrowheads. These are pink and blue and brown, and they're all colors, very beautiful, very thin. The chipping and workmanship on them is just out of this world, unbelievable for an early man with no tools to do.
Which one is most valuable?
I have two bird stones, so-called, in my collection, and they're not bird points now, but bird stones. They look like little duck decoys. They're about 4 or 5 inches long, made of slate, and these are the most valuable. No one knows for sure what they were used for, but they're very old, thousands of years old.
When do you find time to look for these Indian artifacts?
Well, I look in the spring mostly, in early summer, and I go after work, and I go on Saturdays, and I spend usually 2 or 3 hours each trip.
Have you ever sold any of them?
No, I've never sold a one, but I've bought a few.
Do you know how many you have in all?
I'm not sure, but I have probably 3,000 or 4,000.
Are some of them the same, or are they different?
Each one is different. Some of them are in types that run to the same classification or same category, but even within the same category, each one of them is a different one made by a different person.
We want to thank Mr. Harnsvager and Teresa and Jenny for a report. Now here's Jeanette with another collector who also works with our school.
Steve Schulte, custodian at Kalida Elementary School, has a very large collection of pencils and pens. Recently, he brought part of his collection to school, where Janet Leopold and Karen Kanapke talked to him about his hobby.
Mr. Schulte, how many pencils do you have?
About 3,500.
When did you start collecting?
In September 1937.
What is your oldest one?
It's the old slate pencil. That's probably about 60 years old.
What is your shortest pencil and what is your longest pencil?
I have one is 1.5 inches and one is 24 inches.
What price is your most valuable?
It's about $5.
Did you ever get one from a famous person?
Yes, I have one. It's a personal pen that the governor of Delaware sent me. Okay.
Do you have any from a different kind of material?
Yes, we have celluloid, plastic, wood, and felt, and just about any kind that is made.
Where did you get your farthest pencil or pen?
It's from one of the members in the club from New Zealand.
We want to thank Mr. Schulte for the time he spent with us. The kids at Kalida also are collecting things like labels and bottle caps. We get money from this collecting which we use toward the missions as well as buying things for our school. Right now we are collecting box tops from Post Cereals to get gym equipment like soccer balls, baseballs, and a slide. The Fresh Light Company will send us $1 for every 10 labels. Collecting bottle caps also pays off. We collect Campbell's soup labels because Campbell's will give us library books. And now here's Gary.
The names of all the students at our school are going to be put on a Bicentennial quilt done as a school project. The colors of the quilt are mostly red, white, and blue. And when it is hung up for display, it will have the bicentennial dates of 1776 and 1976 in large figures across the top. Jill Miller and Marcia Lammers asked the principal, Sister Marilyn Cullen, why the quilt was made.
This was a product of a brainstorm that we had last spring. We wanted to do something rather spectacular for Bicentennial year, and so we decided to make a quilt and involve parents as well as students with the actual making of the quilt.
The quilt will be put in the Putnam County Historical Society Museum when it is completed. While we were talking to Sister Marilyn Cullen, principal at Kalida Elementary School for the past 3 years, Susie Strader and Diane Vonderhams asked her some questions about herself. They asked her what she did before coming to Kalida.
Before I came to Kalida, I was a teacher in Rhode Island for 1 year, and 21 years I served in Kentucky. In Kentucky, I taught in inner city schools and also mountain schools.
Then they asked if many nuns in Putnam County are principals in public schools.
No, last year there were 3 sisters who were principals in Putnam County. Today I'm the only principal in Putnam County who is a sister.
We want to thank Sister Marilyn Cullen and Susie and Diane for that interview. Last fall, the town of Kalida got a new gym. It was built onto our school and is used for all the varsity basketball games as well as our physical education classes. The new gym can hold 1,868 people and is 84 feet long, 54 feet wide, and 26 feet high to the roof. Everyone worked hard to earn the money for the gym. The school put on a show with every class doing something like singing or doing a play. The parents really helped by donating to the fund. If it wasn't for them, the gym would still be a field of grass. And now back to Marie.
Last year, one of our classmates found herself with a problem. Jeanette Worth found that her sister was teaching her reading and science. She said that it caused minor situations as she was not allowed to be around when her sister was correcting her papers. And when friends would come over, Jeanette said they would feel kind of weird. But the problem was settled over the summer when her sister got married. Well, thanks for watching, New 6, and thanks from everybody at Kalida Elementary School. Have a good day.